Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here, and welcome to the next episode of Movie Didn't Need a Sequel. And today, guys, I'm going to be covering probably a really big example of a movie I can say which definitely did not need any sequels or follow-ups in any form or fashion, because this movie, guys, is ironically a sequel. Actually, the second installment of one of my favourite franchises of all time, and it's also, in my opinion, among two of the only best of this franchise, because in my opinion, all the sequels to this movie, or shall I say follow-ups, have absolutely sucked. So yeah, and this franchise, guys, only worked, in my opinion, as two movies, and today's video is going to be covering the second movie of this franchise, which did not need any sequels, and that's for none other than 1992's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. So yeah, now, so as a bit of a summary, guys, of what I think, so this movie right here is my favourite Christmas movie of all time, and I'm also one of those people, guys, that considers to be my favourite Home Alone movie of all time. I like how, compared to the first movie, it gave a longer run time, and the Wet Bandit bad guys are still great villains as always, and Macaulay Culkin still does an incredible job playing Kevin McCarthy in this movie. You know, he's irreplaceable in the role, in my opinion, and I love how this movie also gave much bigger stakes from the first movie, because in the first movie, Harry and Marv are robbing Kevin's house, whereas in this movie, however, they're wanting to rob Duncan's toy chest toy store, because they're going to be like the Grinch and ruin Christmas for every children and who are, you know, wanting presents for Christmas. So yeah, I like how stakes are higher, and in my opinion, this movie also helped further develop Kevin as a character, because he's defending every single children instead of defending himself like he did in the first movie. So yeah, I love how his stakes were high in this movie this time, and yeah, but the first movie, however, is still a masterpiece, guys, nonetheless. I still love the first movie as well. I mean, I give both these films 10 out of 10. I love them both, and yeah. And in my opinion, guys, this movie is where the franchise should have truly ended, and to me it is where it truly ended, because it gave a very heartwarming ending with no sequel baiting whatsoever, just like our first movie did. And yeah, I mean, pretty much all films this franchise don't have sequel baiting, but this is, in my opinion, guys, is the only sequel that worked, in my opinion. Because yeah, now, this was, of course, the only one of the franchise in which the entire cast of the first film reprised their roles, the main cast, pretty much. And yeah, I like to pretend this is the trend of franchise, guys, but unfortunately that was deemed not to be, because, what was it, because 5 years after this movie, we got a very necessary third installment, which is Home Alone 3, released in 1997, guys. Yeah, this was 5 years after Home Alone 2, and I've grown to really not like this movie, guys. And yeah, I mean, then again, well, guys, I've not really liked it since I first saw it, because I remember back in, what was it, 2007, when I was a kid, I was at my friend's house playing the Simpsons game on Xbox 360, and we were told by his mum that there was a new Home Alone movie on TV, and I was thinking, a new Home Alone movie? So we watched the movie, guys, and throughout watching the movie, I was thinking, what the hell is this? Because I wasn't liking it, guys, and yeah. And the movie, in my opinion, is pretty stupid and very misleading, because despite being called a Home Alone movie, the main character of the movie, called Alex Pruitt, played by Alex D. Linz, is not even home alone for having a whole movie, because in lots of scenes in the movie, he's with his family. They don't leave him home alone for the entire movie, really. And yeah, because in the first movie, Kevin was left home alone while his family went on holiday to Paris, whereas in the sequel, I consider New York City to be his home. Yeah, I consider New York to be Kevin's home, and a much more dangerous situation, yeah. And furthermore, as well, with this movie, what is also stupid is, despite being a sequel to Home Alone 2, it literally has no connection to the previous movies, because it does not reference Kevin or Harry and Marv or the rest of McCarthy family, despite being set in the same place, being Chicago. So yeah, you could literally watch it like it's his own standalone movie, because in my opinion it is. And because I said before, to feel like Home Alone movie, you know, you could literally change the title and it wouldn't change a thing. Like, I'd rather call something like, you know, Kid versus Criminals or something like that. Something really. And yeah, and I think the idea of making 4 burglars this time doesn't really work compared to 2. In my opinion, 2 is enough. And yeah. So yeah, Home Alone 3 in my opinion sucked, guys, and I've grown to despise it more and more as I rewatch it, and yeah. I'll probably hate it even more when I rewatch it, preparation for its trash talk in the future. Probably, this Christmas or next Christmas, I don't know. We'll see. But unfortunately, guys, despite being, of course, the last of the theatrically released Home Alone movies, Home Alone 3, we then went on to get some absolutely atrocious sequels, which were direct-to-video movies. And the first one we got was an absolutely atrocious fourth movie, which was Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, released in 2002. And this movie, guys, is absolutely trash. Made the television trash, in my opinion. Like, goodness me, it was so bad. Like, now, and I've always hated movies since I first saw it. Like, in my opinion, it absolutely sucks. And I really hate it. Like, because, once again, now, unlike Home Alone 3, it does bring back the McAllisters, and also it brings back Marv, one of the burglars from the first two films. But what's so dumb, guys, is they recast them all. And yeah, and in my opinion, guys, the recasts are absolutely terrible in their roles. They absolutely suck as the characters. Like, the acting, in my opinion, was absolutely atrocious by them, and they made them pretty unlikable characters, really. Like, I like to pretend that, I call them fake McAllisters and fake Marv, because in my opinion, they're not the characters. They're just imposters, in my opinion. And, like, I think probably all going on Home Alone 4, I could say, is Mr. Prescott, the butler. In my opinion, he's the only likable character. And I guess the character called Natalie does have some friendly moments with Kevin, I guess. And her mansion is pretty cool. Definitely a very nice place to stay in, absolutely. Especially because of Kevin's bedroom, which was really awesome, with all those games and all that. But I didn't say the movie because, in my opinion, the rest of the cast was atrocious. Like, of the characters. Oh, my God. And also, despite being, a film that brings back, the McAllisters and Marv, it doesn't even connect to the previous two movies. Like, it doesn't reference New York. Doesn't even, properly mention the first movie because Kevin says he's done Home Alone before. But yeah, that's all you get, really, and it doesn't really elaborate on it more. And also, there's also a big continuity error with regards to the ages because in this movie, Kevin says he's 9, even though in Home Alone 2, he very clearly says, I'm 10 years old, TV's my life. So yeah, this is why, guys, I like to say Home Alone 4 is just a standalone movie, which is not part of a franchise. To me, it's non-canon. And also, in my opinion, the casting for Buzz was also a miscast because not only does he look nothing like Devin Ratway played in the first two films, in the second movie, Buzz is getting older, his voice is broken, and he's taller, whereas in this movie, he's a kid again. So yeah, miscast. And even the parents also don't even look like Kate and Peter McAllister as well. Miscasts. And they also made Peter McAllister a very unlikable character as well. I could not stand him in this movie. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I mean, screw Home Alone 4. I gave it 0 out of 10 like I did in my ranking back in 2020, yeah. I think I give Home Alone 3 a 4 out of 10 because I've gone to despise it even more. And then, unfortunately, guys, despite, this movie getting negativity, of course, it then spawned... It's unfortunately spawned another direct-to-video movie, which was 2012's Home Alone: The Holiday Heist. And in my opinion, this is where it just got worse and worse because once again, this movie, however, does not feature the McAllisters or Harry and Marv. It features a new character being the Baxters. And in my opinion, they're unlikable characters, guys, especially Alexis. Alexis Baxter, I can't stand this movie. She's probably the most unlikable in this movie. And it's sort of the same problem as Home Alone 3, where it features more than 2 burglars, which is pretty stupid. I will admit that the only going horror movie, in my opinion, was Ed Asner's cameo appearance as Mr. Carson, may rest in peace. And I guess Malcolm McDowell was also okay as one of the bad guys called Sinclair, but he didn't save the movie, in my opinion, guys. I feel bad for him and the rest of the cast. And once again, what's also dumb is, unlike the first 4 films, this movie doesn't even take place in Chicago, which is pretty dumb. Even though, of course, Home Alone 4 was filmed in South Africa. And I've always hated this movie, because I first saw Home Alone 4 on TV, and I hated every minute of it. It absolutely sucked, in my opinion. Home Alone 5, however, The Holiday Heist, I watched for the first time when I was staying in my grandparents' house in December 2012. It happened to be on TV, so I thought, a new Home Alone movie, I'll watch it, so see how bad it is. Watched it, and I was bored out of my mind, because apart from seeing Ed Asner's one scene in the film with Mr. Carson, and in his camera appearance as him, for most of the movie, I was either on my phone or playing Angry Birds on my iPad because I was so bored out of my mind. And yeah, that's why I think it's the worst one. because in my opinion, absolutely sucked. So it's because of these dreadful sequels, guys, but I like to pretend Home Alone 2 is the true end of the franchise, and to me it is. In my opinion, it's the true end. And guys, you will of course as well be aware that there is of course a 6th movie, which actually came out last year, guys, which is a Disney Plus exclusive called Home Sweet Home Alone. And guys, it's because my interest in the franchise was killed by these dreadful 3 sequels to Home Alone 2, I flat out refuse to watch Home Sweet Home Alone because I did see the trailer, guys, and it looks so bad. Oh my god. And guys, I don't give a damn if I bring back Devin Ratray as Buzz as a policeman. I really don't care at all. And in my opinion, his one scene that I've seen on YouTube was probably the only best thing out of the movie, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not watching the rest because the trailer looked absolutely cringe and horrible. So yeah, I'm not watching the whole movie. Hell no. I refuse to watch it. And I refuse to review it as well. I'm definitely not reviewing it. Definitely not. No way. I'm going to avoid it. And guys, if they do make more Home Alone movies, which they're probably going to, because despite the negativity these sequels have got, they still made more of them, which is pretty stupid. If they do more movies, guys, like Home Sweet Home Alone, I refuse to watch it, and I'm instead going to rewatch the two films which matter, being the first film and its sequel. I refuse to watch anything that comes after these two. These two films, in my opinion, are where the franchise is, really. Home Alone to me is only 2 movies and that's it. So yeah, screw everything that comes after Home Alone 2. Screw it all. And yeah. And I of course refuse to watch Home Sweet Home Alone. I'm instead going to watch the first 2. I'm only going to rewatch the first 3, guys, you know, if it's streaming on Sky to watch. Only for their upcoming trash talks. After, I'm never going to watch them ever again. No way. Because in my opinion, they're absolute crap and disgrace to the franchise. So guys, this is me covering Home Alone 2 Lost in New York in the next episode of Movie Didn't Need a Sequel. So yeah, so you know drill, guys, be sure to give this video a like. Also in the comments what you guys think of Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, and do you think it's the end of the franchise or not? Tell me what you think in the comments below. And yeah, also be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe for movies for the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can press join piece or you can little description, and keep the change, you filthy animal.